Hey guys, I hope you're all doing really well. I am so excited for today's video actually. I am going to be doing another palette bingo with the Masquerade mini palette by Juvia's Place because I really enjoyed doing this a couple weeks back. It was just so much fun to play with this palette, and the color combination that was randomly pulled was beautiful. I feel like honestly you can't go wrong with any of these shades in this palette. But I was so happy with the look that I came out with, and so many of you guys love the look that I came out with too. So I just want to play around with this palette while it is one of my focus palettes alongside Colourpop Yes Please. And it is newer to my collection, so that's why I just really want to just keep playing with it. I've been loving so many of the looks that I've come out with using this palette, but I know there's color combinations in here that I might not pick out on my own. So palette bingo is just the perfect way to just randomly go for it, and I think it's just a really good way to take me out of my comfort zone, out of my routine. And to be honest, like today I'm just like not feeling 100%, so I just think it'll be a lot of fun to do something creative and to have a bit of a challenge. So I'm going to do it exactly as I did last time around. This shade right here is shade number 1, and right down to here is shade number 16, and I'm going to do 5 shades again. So I am just going to pull that up on my phone. On random.org, I typed in to generate 5 random integers between 1 and 16. And the shades I got are 3, 8, 7, 4, and 6. So let's take a peek at the palette. So the shades that I randomly generated are 3, 8, 7, 4, and 6. So all like single digits. That's pretty interesting. It's going to be the top portion of the palette actually. So 3 is the shade Dahlia right here. 8 is Pore right here. 7 is Calabar. 4 is Zola. And 6 is Zobo. So it's a blue and purple kind of look, blue, purple, pink. Oh my goodness. So here are swatches of all 5 shades that I selected. There is definitely a really vibrant color story happening, which is super fun. It's so different from what I would pull from this palette to play with, but I am really excited to jump into these colors. So I just primed and set my eyelids. I also put on just a really thin layer of foundation across primarily my jawline and around like the perimeter of my face. I don't have anything underneath my eyes at all because this palette does have quite a bit of fallout, so you would have to clean up a lot. So I didn't put anything in like this area here, but I just wanted to put some foundation on just for being super close up to the camera. But anyway, we're gonna hop into creating a look. I have a little bit of an idea of where I'm gonna go, but honestly, I'm just gonna kind of do whatever I feel like in the moment. I'm gonna start off with the shade right here called Zobo. And I'm going to pop that into the crease. This is so much more sheer than it looks in the pan. So it's not quite as intimidating as it looks in the pan. I have been reaching for this shade a lot though, since I got the palette, because it's just, I don't know, it's just a really nice berry shade. Whenever I'm using bright shades like this in the crease and I don't have like a nude transition shade, I just like to go back into whatever powder or eyeshadow I use to set down my eyeshadow primer, and I just buff everything in so that it really blends into the skin. So I'm just going to do that on the crease, just on the upper portion of the crease really. I just grabbed Zobo on a little bit of a more precise blending brush, and I'm going to bring that onto the inner portion as well as the outer portion and build up the color there. So it's just right on the inner corner, and this is where the halo is going to start taking shape. And I'm just blending that out with that brush that had my face powder on it. And on the middle part of the crease where I'm going to do the blue portion of the halo eye, I'm actually going to go into the shade Pore, which I use as a matte because it has a little bit of a gold fleck in it, but as soon as you tap off the brush, it really is just a pure hot pink matte. So I'm just going to pop that in that center portion of the eye, and I am using the same brush that Zobo was on, so it is looking quite similar, and I think that it's a really nice way to kind of blend the colors together. And again, I'm just going to go back into that larger buffing brush and just blend everything out. Because there isn't anything neutral in this eye look, it's so important, for me at least, to make sure everything looks just really nicely blended. So I'm actually using the same brush that I used for Zobo on the inner and outer portion of the lid. This is the Colourpop E9. I believe it's called the small blending brush, yeah, it's something along those lines. I'll link it down below. But this is really the perfect brush for me personally because I have very small eyes. This is perfect for really building up the depth in a halo eye. So I'm going to use this again on the inner and outer portions and just really work up some color. I'm going to keep this on the lid. This is not going into the crease because this is a more shimmery shade. Did I even say what color it was? This is the shade Calabar, and it's just that color right in the middle of the mattes that I used there. So I'm just starting on the outer portion to put down the most pigment, and then I will just use whatever's left on my brush to build up that inner portion. Just going back into the original brush and further blending. This is honestly how I spend most of my time doing an eye look, is just doing some blending. So I do want to incorporate these two blues into the lid, so I'm going to do that, but for now I'm going to first go in with the NYX glitter primer. Mine is totally busted. The product actually comes like out of the neck right here, which is very bizarre. I don't know what happened, how it broke, but regardless, it works. And I'm just going to pop that into this inner portion that is blank. I find this helps so much with this palette. I'm going to go in with Dahlia, and I'm just going to put it everywhere that is blank, everywhere that I have the glitter primer down. That is very abrupt on the lid because it is really pigmented and really shimmery. So I'm going to go back into Calabar and just try to blend the edges of that a little bit more. Okay, so by blending this, I'm realizing how much popping Calabar on top of the blue changes it, and I'm totally just going to go in and just completely change this shade. It's going to make it just like a deeper purple. And just to bring that element of blue back, I'm just going to go back into Dahlia on my fingertip just to bring a bit of the blue back. But this way it doesn't look as harsh as it was looking. There is one last shade that I have not yet incorporated. It's the shade Zola right here. And I'm just going to go on a tiny little detail kind of brush and just bring that into the very center of the halo. So I want to bring in the shade Pore again and just really amplify it in that center portion of the crease because I think it just got lost. I ended up basically doing my whole face. I decided to try something different for my cheeks, so I'm looking way more blushy than I ever really do. This is getting to be, again, very dramatic, but I used the Marc liquid lip crayon in the shade Fram-Bois, which is in my Project Pan Roulette. I use this as a base for my blush, and then I use the Seraphine Botanicals blush that's also in that project. I just use these as a blush combo, and I really do like the way that it looks, but it definitely is far more intense than I'm used to. So I'm going to go into Zobo right here and just put that on the outer portion of the lower lash line just so that it ties in with the lid. So I'm just going to go into Zola And I'm going to take that on like more of a fine smudger brush and pop that in that bottom, like on the inner half of the lower lash line. I kind of wish that I didn't do that all the way across. So I just wiped off my brush and I'm going to go back into Zobo. I don't like the blue all the way in because it just doesn't work with the top lash line. So I'm just going to put Zobo into the inner corner. The face highlight I'm wearing today is the Mary Lou-Manizer, so I'm just going to pop that on the inner portion, the inner corner rather. And because we're going for literally all the drama, let's just pop that on under the brow as well. We have gone this far with the drama, so why not? I'm just going to throw on some lashes. I'm going to use the Kiss Lash Couture Faux Mink lashes. These are in the style Little Black Dress. The band looks really thick, so I haven't used these yet because I'm kind of afraid they're going to be a little bit too heavy to wear, but I'm going to give them a shot. I think I'm going to have to cut them down, but I'm going to do all of that on off camera, and I'll be right back. So I put on the lashes. I do think that they are really good for this look. They're not too heavy, too thick, but they definitely do add more drama and definition to the lashes that otherwise I couldn't really do with just mascara. So I do really like them. Lashes are so out of my comfort zone though, so they do feel like kind of heavy, to be honest, but I really do like the way that they look. I put a lot of mascara on the lower lash line to kind of balance it out, and then I felt like I might as well incorporate more color, so I went in with the Annabelle Waterline Matte in the shade Mint into the waterline. All the products that I'm wearing today, by the way, I will have in the description box, so everything that I used on and off camera will be listed there. But now I'm just going to finish up the look with a lip. So I originally thought I would go for this. This is the Marc Jacobs Liquid Lip Crayon that I used as my blush-like base. But I feel like it's just way too much to go with this eye look. And like I said, we are going out for dinner. So then I was thinking I would go in with Colourpop Alyssa because I'm panning this. But I don't know, I feel like mixing it up. I actually haven't worn this lipstick yet. This is the Colourpop Lux Lipstick in the shade Tiptoe. I bought this from someone who was destashing on the Facebook group, the Colourpop Fanatics Facebook group. So I got this from her because I haven't tried this formula and I really wanted to, but I didn't want to make like a $50 order from Colourpop because that just gets out of hand. Whenever you make any order from Colourpop, you just end up spending 50 bucks. So I want to try this out because I haven't worn this yet. I only got it earlier this week and I think it'll look really, really nice with this eye. So I'm just going to go right in from the bullet. It's such a nice, easy lipstick to wear. I am really, really happy with the way that the look turned out. As you guys know, the palette though is like 8 neutrals and 8 colors, so I'm shocked that I ended up with 5 colors, but I am really happy with the look that I came out with using these. I think that mixing the colors together actually was a really nice way to keep it from looking so harsh, like pink, purple, blue. There is a little bit more subtlety with the blue. Kind of the fun of doing a palette bingo is to pair colors that you wouldn't otherwise go for and to just do something out of the norm, and this is definitely out of my norm. I definitely am not afraid of wearing colorful eyeshadow, but I've never done something where I literally didn't use a single neutral to ground the look in any sort of way. I think it's just so much fun. If you guys enjoyed this, please let me know. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you would have done with the 5 shades that I selected, because they are quite difficult shades, to be honest. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with me. It was so much fun, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.